Well, I'm Alan Dale from Gale Force Winds. It's great to be here at the DEFSEC Atlantic 2024 podcast, sponsored by our good friends at Cisco. Great conversations happening on the floor. People are already starting to do business. What I really enjoy about the podcast is getting folks back who've been on before, who've been at another DEFSEC, to kind of catch up on where they are. And Jens, you've been on the show before, and I know that SH Defense is doing incredible work, mission modularity, payloads. You keep adding to the menu. You have so much to offer. Catch us up a little bit of where we have come from this time last year.
So from this time last year, by the way, thank you for getting here, and I'm glad to be back at DEFSEC, and I can even see it's growing. There's lots of people. So what happened since last year is that we've sort of evolved the system quite a bit, made it more simple, made it more, using the word modular doesn't really count, but more flexible. When we don't need as much interface towards the different ships to actually accommodate modularity on board a platform, which has also caused a number of contracts with different navies across the world without actually listing all those navies. So the content of the modules are increasing, as you say. There's more and more capabilities going in, but there's actually more and more capabilities maturing, but also changing because of what's happening in the world today. So we actually see more and more combat capabilities going into modules, because that is needed on other vessels than combat vessels, frigates, destroyers, corvettes. So that is a clear trend that gives us a small edge, because we can bring a combat capability to a non-combat platform in support of a task group or task force. So that is really a very big change.
Jens, you've made impact in Canada already. Certainly moving in the right direction in this country. Is that growing? And tell me what your vision is for Canada.
It's definitely growing in Canada. So SH Group, of which SH Defense is a part, do handling systems for non-naval, so maritime Coast Guard platforms as well. And in Canada right now, we've have contracts on cube modules for capabilities, but we've also had a great impact with the Canadian Coast Guard. So we are really growing our wider capability into the Canadian market, which also has driven us to find a partner to produce in Canada, but also working a lot closer with Canadian industry to grow the industrial base in Canada through our contracts, even though we are a Danish company.
And I know you're very well known to all the major shipyards in the country. Everybody understands and knows SH Defense. And you're also on Team Vigilance. Talk to me about the importance of that.
Well, Team Vigilance is definitely important, because not only because of the offer to provide a platform for the Canadian Navy, but the concept of bringing companies together and provide a full capability to a nation or a navy, so you can literally buy a less risk product on the market, because all the companies that actually sits in the consortium already works together, which is an idea that Canada has, but we're actually doing the same thing in Denmark right now on the Danish patrol ship program. So it's a known way of bringing a full-blown capability forward through a consortium or partnership, and it's going really well, and we are dragging in more and more Canadian industry as preferred suppliers to Team Vigilance, so that is really positive.
And you know, I can't help but comment on, I find that a lot of Canadian companies are finding their way to Denmark because of SH Defense presence in Canada, and you see a great presence at some of your industry events in Denmark.
Yeah, that was interesting, because we had the Danish Acquisition and Logistics Organization, which is a Danish procurement organization, just had their industry days in August, and we had 20 Canadian companies attending, plus Canadian officials as well coming in. That was really an eye-opener. There's a very close relationship, and I think it's also brought up that we're sort of two fairly similar nations, but we also have similar interests in the Arctic, for example, so that really brings Denmark and Canada together.
Yeah, we have a lot more in common than we have apart, for sure. Our two nations. Great to have you on the show, and thanks for bringing us up to speed on SH Defense.
Perfect, thank you.